Welcome to The Watching Dead, the officially unofficial podcast for The Walking Dead on AMC. I'm Jim.
I'm Aaron.
And we just watched Season 8, Episode 1, titled Mercy. What'd you think of this one?
It was a pretty good season opener for The Walking Dead. It does have some head scratchers, which we can get into. Some of them I'm like, I haven't decided, and I don't know why I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, probably because it's better podcasting. But I don't know. Like there's some of the stuff that's like might just be stupid because I don't understand the full plot.
Sure.
And I'm also kind of annoyed that Nicotero and Gibble seem to be really married to this unconventional story structure.
Yeah, a lot of people were super annoyed by that. It didn't annoy me.
Well, I mean, it just wasn't as god awful as some of them.
It was not,
that I've seen, but I still don't know why they're doing it. I don't know why they're teasing the beginning, middle, and end of who knows what.
Yeah,
but it wasn't bad. What did you think?
I'm going to take the opposite tact. I thought, aside from the accelerated pacing of things, it was pretty bad. I thought there was some exceptionally bad writing in spots, and
really,
overall, I thought the various plot points were pretty dumb. Pretty dumb.
Oh boy. Well, because I to be honest, I don't feel like moderating you much. Well,
I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt the same way, in the way that you said you're going to, because I've seen it time and time again.
Yeah,
The Walking Dead. I start giving them the benefit of the doubt, and they shit all over me. So yeah. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore.
If you're covered in shit, I think that's a sound policy to have. To avoid being shit on again.
Mm-hmm.
Should we get right to it then?
Yeah, let's do it.
I want to get some housekeeping out of the way. If you're just joining us, which I know a lot of you might be, we are doing a whole bunch of things right now. We got Game of Thrones. We're doing a rewatch of Season 2. Cecily and I just recorded what we're calling our first annual Cinema Spooktacular, which is a roundup of all the scary movies we've been watching this Halloween season. Jim and I are also doing Mr. Robot on Fridays, the current season. Cecily and I are doing American Horror Story on Thursdays. Stranger Things is coming back this weekend with its entire season 2, and we're going to marathon the whole season over the weekend. Suburbicon, the Coen Brothers film, directed by George Clooney, starring Matt Damon, we're going to be seeing Thursday night and giving a free review for everybody and a spoiler-filled one for our club members. Also, if you would like to meet and greet us, we're going to be at Huntsville, Alabama for the Rocket City NerdCon. You can go to rocketcitynerdcon.org. And get advance tickets if you'd like. It's going to be November 4th through 5th. Again, check it out, rocketcitynerdcon.org. We're going to be there hosting a couple panels. We're going to be doing a live-action game show-style reenactment of the Red Wedding in costume. That sounds like a good time. Check it out, rocketcitynerdcon.org. Okay, so we start off in the cold open with a lot of rapidly intercut shots of sweaty, weight on my world shoulders, present day Rick, and an older, out of focus, Vaseline smeared on the camera, yet seemingly at peace, presumably future Rick.
Where does Red Eye Rick fit into this?
I think he's.
Because that's the real head scratcher for me.
Yeah, I that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that's a flash to like the middle point of this story.
I think you're right, which to me says that maybe the future, the old man Rick is
a fantasy.
Dream
I saw
fantasy?
that there's a lot of, because this kind of camera stuff is usually reserved for Barbara Walters interviews, and when The Walking Dead wants to show like a future that seems unobtainable. Like, for example, when Glenn died and they had that fantasy about everyone sitting down for Thanksgiving dinner or whatever.
And the building exploded behind him, right? Oh, that's Mr. Robot.
That's Mr. Robot. But, it's like this kind of... The thing is by that time, that whole future was completely impossible because Negan had already bashed in the heads of several of those dudes. This, I don't know, is unattainable. This vision might be the angel on Rick's shoulder, because it does seem like they're setting up a lot of themes involving mercy.
Mm-hmm. And hope. So I could see this being Rick's hope for the future.
So Are we going to talk about the fact that old bearded Santa Claus Rick wakes up to the classic Weird Al Yankovic song, Another One Rides the Bus?
Sure, we can talk about that.
What the hell? Did they just like, you know what, instead of licensing something, let's go with something that reference, they just put into like genius.com something about old men and beards and weirdos, and because that's going to be thematic of Rick's face, and another one rides the bus comes up.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it was who they could get. Like they said, hey, Chris, you got any comedy buddies that you can help us out with here? He said, yeah, me and Al go way back.
Oh, way back. So again, all this stuff is like riffle shuffled with a bunch of other things I'm about to describe. Dwight gets an aerogram shot into his front motorcycle tire. Asshole! That says tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I think that's Daryl mocking him for how long it's going to take him to change that tire. Because Dwight's the kind of guy that he's not going to repair a tire. He's just going to throw the bike away and get another one. It's the zombie apocalypse. Bikes are a dime a dozen.
I'm calling them the crossbow buddies because they are both using crossbows, both riding motorcycles, both dressed in the leather vests. I can't unsee the follow in my footsteps that Dwight is doing here with Daryl.
Yeah, like Dwight is like, he's taken the Two-Face thing way overboard. Like, instead of, like, he is literally the scarred half of Daryl. Mm-hmm. Like, it's Two-Faced in two individual humans. It's crazy.
Like, it's almost to the point where I think they're trying to replace Daryl. They're saying, okay, if Norman Reedus gets tired of this show and we have to ditch him, who can we put in his place? And, I mean, it's so close. They're identical at this point.
Well, I mean, yeah. If you take all of Norman Reedus's charisma and charm and replace it with facial scarring, they are interchangeable.
Yeah,
and I think that's the thing. Like, I could see a post Daryl The Walking Dead. Mm-hmm. Like, I think it's going to happen sooner rather than later. Of course, I've been saying that for like 4 seasons now. But I don't. Dwight, they shouldn't try to replace Daryl. If they want to replace Daryl, they should just keep Norman on. Do whatever it takes.
Or just say, well, Daryl's gone. Let's have a new character that the audience loves.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
That's
like when Bo and Luke held out on that one season of the Dukes of Hazzard, and they're like, oh, we'll get their cousins, Poe and Puke, and they're both blonde and brunette, and they both have the exact same fucking clothes, but they're, I mean, like, what? I don't get it. But that's a bad idea, I think. Fist Bump is twizzling on a Twizzler with Carol and Daryl doing some sort of prep work on a zombie herd that we don't understand yet, and Rick is giving a 3-part speech with the other leaders of the communities, King Ezekiel and Maggie. Yeah. Rick talks about how finding Jesus changed his life. King Ezekiel quotes Shakespeare, Henry V in particular. This is the Band of Brothers. This has like 4 or 5. This one, probably the greatest inspirational speech of all time, has like 4 or 5 recognizable quotes that get you trotted out on occasion.
As delivered by David Schwimmer.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he was the one.
I don't think it is. All right, Captain Winters, wasn't it?
I don't know.
But yeah, it's the Band of Brothers one. He quotes it here about like, whoever fights with me and sheds blood will be my brother, and Maggie his sister, as he hands off, and Maggie says, we're sacrificing our day-to-day comforts for short-term uncertainty to attain a secure future. And Rick finishes up, says, this world's ours by right. All the users and takers and killers that try to carve out the world and make it theirs alone, we're going to end them. Mm-hmm. Not celebrate it, but also without shame. Which, makes a big point that there's only one guy that has to die. Obviously, Father Gabriel. And he's going to kill him himself.
Yeah, but then they proceed to kill a whole lot of scouts. It seemed like they could have maybe incapacitated the scouts if they really wanted one person to die here. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, Rick is kind of, again, they're ending. I guess it's, that's like a strategic thing. It's kind of like the difference between killing a few soldiers versus assassinating a leader. Mm-hmm. One is just like you just don't assassinate leaders. You got to kill all the soldiers first.
And I guess I understand why they have 3 different speech givers up here. At first I started rolling my eyes saying, oh my God, they're all saying the same thing, but they're all speaking to their communities, right? Maggie is the de facto leader at the hilltop at this point. Ezekiel's obviously the kingdom, and Rick in Alexandria.
Yeah, and it's a classic, mega group. They're trying to appeal to all their different fandoms and like, I know this guy, I like this guy. Ooh, I don't know about this guy. I kind of like what he's saying. Kind of that's this commingling there. I thought it was pretty good, and also this thing about not to celebrate killing, but also not having shame in righteous killing. I really hope Walking Dead takes that to heart, because if The Walking Dead stays true to this, it means the end of like all these, oh my God, what have we done versus these guys have to pay that we get locked into, and it's so tedious. Like every other season, like this is a crazy Rick season, this is a sane Rick season, this is a passive Rick season, this is an active Rick season. Rick now says, all right, I'm gonna be active this one last time.
Then I'm getting a cane.
Then I'm getting my cane,
which is
I'm
definitely
playing hooky.
Yeah, we got some feedback about that, so I'll save it. But the cane is a weird addition that we'll talk about.
Yeah. So
I'm glad to see that Morgan's in on the killing, that he hasn't like flipped positions yet again, and he's back to like no one can die Morgan.
Right.
He does his fair share of scout killing.
So then we're past the cold open. We're in the open proper, and Carl drives up in a gray van to an abandoned C-store, which is packed with cars. Very reminiscent of the season 1 opener of then Sheriff Rick Grimes scavenging for gasoline.
Yep.
He hears someone rambling who's trying to appeal to his better humanity. He says he's talking a mess about someone throwing a microwave at him.
Which is awesome.
He quotes his mother quoting the Quran, talking about the importance of helping a traveler, and also about the quote from Allah, may my mercy overcome my wrath. I believe is the quote.
Something like that. That's the paraphrase.
That's the paraphrase. Mercy, yeah, may mercy prevail over my wrath. Yeah. And it looks like Carl's kind of circling around to get the drop on him, and he's kind of beholding this young man. And Rick comes running in and scares him off by firing a bunch of shots over his head. Carl says, "You don't have enough hope, Dad. We're going to need more hope than that to win the world." But what does he know? Because he's holstering his gun. It's slung so far down his hip, I think it's actually his knee. It's a knee holster. I don't know what this hipster gun holster thing is. It's like you can do the hair, the hat, or the holster. Pick one. You just keep adding ridiculous affectations, son.
Yeah.
You can't do it. You can't do it. We then have a montage of elimination of lookouts. There was one on a platform, one in a neighborhood, one at the PHZE Research Center, which Morgan just fucking impales with his broomstick.
Yep.
Daryl acquires a Taurus judge from a savior that's got a whole bunch of notch marks after all the innocent people he's no doubt killed. And this gun is like notable because it can fire 45 ammo or 410 shotgun shells.
Shit.
Yeah. Which isn't as impressive as you think, because
No.
that small of a shotgun shell is really only good for like killing rats or snakes or varmints. It's a good varmint gun. But
Sounds impressive.
It looks the business. Like
Yeah.
it looks like a fucking badass revolver. Gabriel talks to Rick about how one man can start something, either good or bad, because Rick started this revolution and Negan started his thing. But Rick says it's not about me, which Gabriel wholeheartedly agrees with. Do we want to talk about any of this stuff? Like, I'm just like a recap
Not really.
of the storm.
No,
Okay.
I feel like there will be parts I want to talk about. These are not.
All right. Rick kisses Judith and Michonne goodbye, and Bear hugs Carl and proclaims this is the end of it. I think he's being optimistic. Like,
Yeah.
the first thing that bugs me is the fact that Rick is treating this again like the last battle they're going to have to fight. Like, this is the big one. We're going to go and we're going to lead all these zombies, and everything's going to work out fine. Like, how many times has Rick said this on this show? 5 times? How many times he said about Negan?
Yeah. Several times. And I just don't. So I don't know what the full extent of the plan is yet, but clearly his goal was not to end the war today. I mean, that's my guess because of the way things went down. But I don't know. We'll see.
I thought it was so he gets in this parade of like these strangely armored cars. They're all asymmetrically have shit welded to their sides. And Rosita's kind of mean mugging everybody because she's still, I don't know. What is her fucking problem?
She wanted to do it her way, and her way didn't work, and now she's pissed.
Right, like I mean, instead of like a glum look, like, oh man, I didn't think Rick would ever do this, and here Rick was going to do it all the time, and I feel stupid. But this like sullen rage thing she's got going on, not working for me. Michonne says that this town is now Carl's show, and that he'll soon see the truth of the matter, which I thought is interesting, since, you know, the idea has been in Kirkman's mind for a long time that eventually this thing is going to be, you're gonna understand that this is Carl's story. Mm-hmm. So when she says it's going to be your show, I mean, when they come at you, Chandler, ask for the moon.
Yeah.
Really bend them over that barrel.
In year 14.
Get one of Walt's blue barrels, bend them over, and say, this is what it's going to take to keep me going for 10 more years of this show. Mm-hmm. Rick dispatches one of the final lookouts who taunts him as he is slowly dying. Rick crosses off his the last lookout, and next on the list is recon of his things to do that day. And Rick, just for good measure, frees a zombie that the guy has had tied up for what? A scout, a lookout?
That's a good question. I don't really know why it was there.
Like, is it Michonne style anti-zombie defense?
Maybe. I mean, it was probably just there for effect because it looked cool, honestly. Because this zombie, apparently, this person had gotten electrocuted to death.
Oh, see, I thought
melted.
The guy literally just tied him up to the thing as some kind of stunt. I didn't know that they were suggesting this was a naturally occurring zombie accident.
Well, now that you say it, I'm not totally sure about it. That was my assumption.
Yeah, I mean, shit, this is the world where like three different people can get pinned underneath a falling power line. And, yeah, it's like freak shit happens.
Uh-huh.
But it's kind of an asshole move.
To release the walker on him? Sure.
Yeah. Like, what is the, like, you know, I guess the main difference between Rick and Negan is Rick would never have done this guy if he was just minding his own business. He does it because he's a savior, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I would say his mercy definitely did not prevail over his wrath.
No.
In that moment.
It did not even a little bit.
No.
So at the sunset, we see the gathering of the three communities, and I think this is actually a flashback to right before they all three give this big speech, which again, doesn't it seem like it would be, this episode had been that much more effective if they just told it?
Yeah, no, certainly. I didn't think it added anything, but unlike a lot of people, I don't think that the flashbacks and forwards took away from anything either.
I just thought there's a lot of momentary confusion about when I was seeing things happening, because it's you know, when you've got so many flash forwards and backs and then interwoven flashbacks throughout the episode, it gets confusing, and there's just weird staggering like path the camera takes to the crowd so they can see this random people talking about, oh, I got your back, and oh, we just met, that's incredible. And then Aaron talks to his boyfriend Eric about catching and praying for the first time. Mm-hmm. And then what's the dude guy from? Man, I can't remember his name. Jerry, yes. Jerry is trying to make Carl's girlfriend Enid. Mm-hmm. I'm still in early season shape. I haven't quite got all the rust off. Trying to make her put on a sternum protector.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean, I thought the Kingdom are wearing this body armor more or less because it makes them look like knights, not because it'd be particularly effective against anything but maybe zombie bites.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. If they're going into a hot zone where they know the walkers are going to be let loose, maybe it's a precaution against walkers.
Why would the sternum be the thing you want to protect? Like
arms and legs.
It was like a weird shin guard. I would have strapped that to my arm so I could like keep one arm, arm's length.
Right. The thing that disturbed me most is that Enid is allowed to go on this journey.
Yeah.
But Rick keeps Carl and Michonne back in the safety of Alexandria.
Yeah,
what the fuck, man?
I mean, I guess it's because that's
like the senators who refuse to send their kids to war when the draft comes on. Like,
I mean,
what the fuck?
You can excuse it's like, well, they need like defense and leadership at home, but then, okay, why is Jesus here? Because Jesus is like the second banana of the hilltop. You know, why is Carol here? Because like Carol and or Morgan is probably
Why
second
is Maggie here? Like,
yeah,
she's number one at the Hilltop.
She's the main one, so maybe like they can't hide behind, you know. But like it is weird. Yeah, Rick seems like it's not all about you, but kind of is still about you.
Yeah, a little bit selfish there.
Maggie says, "Hey, I can wage war through the second trimester. My torn uterus totally healed.
Yeah,
totally healed.
Yeah."
She went on that like stealing John Deere's regimen of uterine health, and it fixed her all up. Ezekiel volunteers the kingdom's doctor. Jesus says, "No problem, we'll get ours back." That hilariously like takes Ezekiel aback.
Yeah.
Like I thought is like the way he portrayed it is like, whoa, no, of course you will. Rick says that the Hilltop's happy to have Maggie, and says after this, I'm going to follow you. It's going to be a total switcheroo. This is something that Rick has done at least 2 times in the series.
Yeah.
You know, this was Farmer Rick. This was prison. This was pre-prison Rick when, you know, because he I forget what the impetus, but he gave at the end of season 2 that Rick the classic dictatorship speech.
Yeah.
Implying that he was trying not to take the lead before. So again, I think he means it this time. We'll see. Tara does a pointless countdown to zombie herd arrival. I'm staggered that someone thought this was a clever or good idea. What is the conceit behind it, man?
I think they're trying to time their attack so that the walkers will be in position to move in when they need them to.
But zombie herds are so precise in a travel that you can time it to the nearest 10 seconds.
That's the thing. They're not on they're not on the Daytona 500 track.
Yeah.
Like they're going around in circles, presumably, on this road.
I don't know.
And the other thing is, they're not going to speed up at all when you start setting off explosions in them.
Right,
in front of them.
Yeah.
I don't know that they accounted for the alerted zombie.
It's one of those things where I feel like in a writer's room, it's like, oh man, this will make it seem so much more like some kind of Mission Impossible deal.
Yeah.
But it's really stupid the more you think about it.
It is.
But whatever.
It's not the stupidest thing in the episode.
We're about ready to get going. So they bone out and they leave behind like the nicest, cleanest looking SUV I've seen on this show in years. Like Carl's driving some fucking A-Team van with a Nazi paint job, and this poor, I don't know what the hell it is, Ford Expedition, it just gets blown up.
Yeah. Expendable. Totally expendable.
It is expendable.
There's a lot of expendable stuff in this episode.
Dwight's talking to a woman at the Savior compound on a CB, and she's already gone full-blown Mad Max speak. Like I think,
oh my god!
I think we're starting to
Jadis?
see. I think so. I think we're starting to see how the trash people started, because she's like, "I need that bang bang, screamy gasoline for the Thunderdome," kind of.
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah.
What a terrible line.
To his credit, Dwight's like, "Okay."
Yeah. That's the only response.
Then he turns the other way as the Savior's compound is assaulted. The lookouts right above him get shot. Rick and company pulled a bunch of their weirdly lopsided armored cars and surround the gates of the, what do they call this Savior complex? The Sanctuary?
Sanctuary, yep.
The Sanctuary complex, forming this movable barricade wall. And Negan comes out with the baseball bat, bold as brass.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there are so many dudes with automatic and semi-automatic weapons on the other side of his barricade, and he comes out in a leather jacket and a baseball bat. I still don't understand how he doesn't die.
No, I mean, this is by far the stupidest thing in this episode, is the idea that their whole purpose is to kill Negan. They've stated it, right? One person has to die.
Like, in my
we know
speech
who that is.
where I talk about how I want the world, mission 1 is Negan's gonna die. I'm gonna kill him myself. I promise.
And you've got the opportunity to do it here. You've got 100 people with machine guns, and he's got a baseball bat. Just kill him. And instead, they opt for shooting the fucking windows.
Yeah, wait. You're getting ahead of.
I can't help it. I can't help it, man.
So we get another old Rick interlude here. He's got a cane and a limp, but it seems like the good side is him and his family can play something called hooky. because it's not super crucial that they're do anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But not like, oh, we've been supplanted or replaced. It's more like, oh, this is kind of nice. I don't have to be on high alert. I can just oversleep some random morning because who cares?
Mm-hmm.
My kid's playing fucking Weird Al. I like it. Negan says, I care about my people, which is why I don't want to trot them out here to get shot just to prove that my dick's bigger than yours. Rick addresses all of Negan's lieutenants by name.
Yeah, to prove that he has some reconnaissance on him.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a series of power plays here, which some are hilarious, hilariously ridiculous and bad, and others are whatever, fine.
Eugene tries to step in and like play a cool head, and Rick's like, "No!" he brings the Daryl Dixon memorial, "No!" and cuts him off. I know who you are. All have a chance to surrender if they do it now. It's the only time that Rick can guarantee their safety.
Mm-hmm. And they all surrender. And the episode's over.
They do. Like action-packed one. It's a controversial one-episode season. But you can't like. AMC wants to save money making The Walking Dead. Without a doubt, just making the one episode.
It was a good choice.
Bold cost-cutting measure. Flash offsite, Morgan and Daryl and Fistbump and Carol are all looking at the Savior's compound, and they see a zombie heading off what they say is one of their traps. Mm-hmm. Morgan's got to stop it. Is he going to do it? I don't know, Jim. Let's see.
Yeah, it's a real nail biter.
Negan asks Rick if he thinks he has numbers for his fight because he doesn't. And to prove that, they trot out Gregory.
I think this is amazing. I think this is maybe the best thing The Walking Dead has ever done, where Negan thinks he has this upper hand and he's going to play this card and everything's going to go his way. And they're just like, we don't care.
Yeah, Greg, like, I can't believe you didn't know that Gregory was seen as a shit in this community.
And then Simon gets all pissed because he's like, hey, you said you could do a whole bunch of great stuff for us.
Right. So everybody says boo to Gregory and yes to Maggie. And Gregory throws, what'd you say this guy's name is? Simon just throws Gregory down a staircase, which is pretty funny. There's this cable across the road. Morgan saves the zombie just before it gets to the line. He looks down the street. Looks like there's a heavy detachment of Savior reinforcements rumbling down the way. These Savior reinforcements get exploded when they reach the cable. Some kind of booby trap. Then Rick, back when he hears the explosion, says he's going to give the lieutenants one last chance, then mocks Negan's fixation about counting down. But then he shoots at 7. Like, what? Why are you doing this again? Like, I doubt your sincerity of getting these people to surrender, Rick. Like, if you're going to play the stupid, mind game, then play it out to its logical conclusion. And so he's got the drop on all of Negan's lieutenants. They're all standing outside. No one's
Negan
undercover.
Himself.
30, 40 people open fire, but they're not even trying to hit Negan. They're blowing the windows. They're shooting
for what
over their heads.
Purpose?
So I heard some people say it is to show the people inside the hopelessness of their situation because they're going to be able to hear.
You know what else does
zombies.
That? Killing their commander in chief.
Right, and it's another miscalculation of what the Savior's life is like. The people living under the Savior's rule.
Sure.
Like, I think Rick thinks it's all essentially Simon and Dwight, when in reality it's more like the people in Alexandria, only instead of Rick they have a Negan.
Yeah, they're enslaved.
But and
even if you grant that everybody inside of the sanctuary is like Simon and is a devotee, it doesn't matter. Taking out the commander always benefits you, always.
Yeah.
Because they're the one with the battle strategies. They're the one with the plans and the one people are following. And if at the very least it makes them scramble and try and figure out what the hell to do, it's a worthwhile thing. And that's Rick's stated goal. I don't fucking understand this in the slightest.
Some people said it's to prevent, like, snipers from firing them inside, but they didn't demonstrate that threat.
Yeah, why didn't they have their own snipers?
And again, like...
They sniped everybody else. All the other fucking scouts got sniped.
Yeah, 2/3 of the crew could have engaged in Operation Blow Out the Windows and still left 10 to 15 guys to just blow the shit out of Negan and his cronies.
Yeah, have an explosive. You clearly have them. They're all over the road.
I mean...
Throw a fucking explosive at him.
It makes it seem like... I don't know. There's a way to stage this to make it more of a standoff where Negan's inside yelling through a window and you can't quite see him. And then all this, you can have the same effect. It just makes more sense. And I don't fucking understand.
It almost feels to me like they're trying to tell us that Negan is this larger than life invincible being.
But it doesn't work.
But it doesn't work because we know he's just human, and if he takes a bullet, he's gonna die.
And no one tries to kill him. Like, to get that invincibility, you have to try to kill him. And then in this next scene, Rick is desperately trying to kill him when he's dug in behind his armored platform.
Right. He's given the element of surprise away, and now he's taking bad shots. Like,
yeah. So
this whole part of it is fucked. I hated this part.
So they're blowing out the windows. The other thing is, like, it makes it easier for the zombie to just get inside, but they're like blowing every window out in the building. Like,
easier
we're talking
for the
third,
zombies.
fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth floor windows getting shot out.
Easier to get in. Get out of here, I say.
Daryl says goodbye to fist bump Carol and Morgan as
because the plan was just so dumb he had to leave.
He's like, yeah, I'm out, guys. I've seen how this goes in the script. He prepares to do his mission, which is to Pied Piper to zombie pack to Negan's house while exploding shit on the side of the road to make sure they keep interest in going forward.
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. Rick tries to lead the controlled retreat from the sanctuary in advance of the wave of zombies. They also pull up an armored RV to the main gates and remotely detonate it that blows the gates wide open. And
the RV is dead. I think that's the original RV, man.
I thought so too, but I thought we lost that a long time ago.
I don't recall losing it. You might be right.
They walked from Georgia to D.C., right? And they didn't have the RV with them.
How would they fucking walk that far?
I think that's the story they told.
I don't remember, honestly. It's been 5 years since that happened.
Didn't it like it get? I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Like it could be the same one, or it's. I think it's unquestionably the same vehicle. Whether in universe it's meant to be actually Dale's RV, I don't know. I'm sure that answer exists, and it's probably going to be sent to us in feedback. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, they really go for broke on the zombies here because you get zombies that are cut in half. Their rib cages are exposed. They're wiggling around. The whole cladding them in molten aluminum and steel strategy didn't do shit against Rick's RV bomb.
Yeah.
Rick gets a bit gun crazy with Negan pinned down behind the frontal armor of the exploded RV. Gabriel brings him back to sense with "It's not about you, right?" Rick snaps a Polaroid of
the cowering
of the
Negan.
Of the grand culmination of his plan, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Gabriel gets in the car to leave, but sees Gregory trapped. He goes to help him, but Gregory stabs him in the back and steals his car. Not literally. He just betrayed him.
Yeah.
I can't believe Gregory gets shot, and I can't believe Gabriel's this fucking stupid. Well, no. Yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah, no, Gabriel has proved himself stupid many times.
Yeah.
Many times. This is only the latest incident. The other thing that we have not talked about is how insanely long the shooting goes on and how they're not really shooting at anything at a point. Like, the windows have been blown out. Nobody's firing back, as much as I can tell. They're just wasting ammo. And I did not think ammo was something they could afford to waste at this point.
Yeah, that's the... I don't know if we're having a spoiler section this week, but... it seems unfathomable that you would waste that much ammunition and accomplish so little.
You know what probably would have taken those windows out? Mm-hmm. The explosion of the RV.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so why bother shooting out the windows and then blow up an RV?
Another thing I heard was that this Sturm and Drang that they're doing outside is to mask the sound of the zombie horde that's coming and the explosions. So they keep Negan and his people hunkered down and not seeing the oncoming zombie horde until it's quote unquote too late to escape and they're surrounded.
So that only one person has to die thing right out the window, yeah?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I think
because if the plan is to send the zombie herd in while you keep everybody there, more people are going to die.
Yeah. No, and I think, again, it doesn't seem like you're using an atom bomb on something that you could use a grenade for and doesn't meet any of your stated, goals or intentions. and it's kind of like also a little James Bondy. Because, Rick is going to let this flood of zombies, and just like, I just assume Negan's going to get torn apart by either his people or the zombies, whatever.
Yeah. Now you've lost control of the situation.
Like, wouldn't you want to contain the sanctuary? Like, have your snipers looking for if anyone tries to get out. They're taking, we don't see any of that. But, anyway, we flash laterally to Carl leaving behind food with a sorry sign as this mystery man watches. Rick and Daryl decide they can no longer wait for Gabriel to come back, and Rick explains to Daryl that, Gabriel, quote-unquote, saved him. Daryl asks if he's okay, man, and Rick says, it's not about me. We then see a very inept attack on the satellite station. Daryl takes out a lookout with a bow, and they all run up, and there's like a million of Ezekiel and Maggie's crew that pins this lone savior behind a car, and they're just hosing this thing down with automatic weapons fire. And they stop for like 1 second. The guy comes from behind his burnt out Taurus or whatever and throws a grenade at the side of a building and explodes. And I swear to God, they cut this right back to the Savior complex. And I thought what had happened was they blew a hole in the wall and a bunch of zombies were coming out to attack King Ezekiel and Maggie's forces.
I'm not convinced that isn't the case. Because I'm with you.
You're right, because the editing says that's exactly what happened, but then with no other fade to black or transition, we then go immediately to the sanctuary.
So you think the zombie sounds were meant to be at the sanctuary?
Yeah.
And they were just doing
and they just don't know what they're doing when it comes to cutting the episode.
Yeah.
Or maybe they intend us to be this confused about basic plot and action and where the camera is at any one given time. I don't know.
Maybe.
So we had on the live watch last night. What turned out to be a shit show. We forgot our our copyright respecting provision of the grid, and YouTube yanked our video right off the internet.
Good to know it's working, though.
Yeah.
Good to know the overlay is effective.
Yeah. Like, well, I mean, it's inarguable. It's like, it's not copyrighted video. We don't play the sound, so
yeah.
But they got us right this first 10 minutes. We apologize for that. But we debated about whether this bow woman from the kingdom is going to turn out to be yet another shitty bow girl.
I think she is. Yeah.
I think,
She says there's no way anyone in hell could ever take this shot, and Daryl just one-hands it.
Now, does that make Daryl out to be extra badass, or just makes her out to be kind of shitty?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
Okay.
Shitty bow girl. It's the return of shitty bow girl.
Right. Like, she can only hit something if she's less than 20 yards away and there's nothing obstructing it.
Right. And then
in a
the
world that
wind's not
still
blowing.
has enough automatic weapons that you can just fucking hose down, that doesn't seem a very useful skill. Like a hunt, like it'd be great for hunting.
Yeah.
But, defense, I don't know about that. Pretty sure guns still shoot farther, hit harder. So Gabriel, then we cut, is desperately searching for shelter in this compound that's just absolutely overrun with zombies. They've had this zombie superhighway that's led right to the Negan's gates, and they are taking advantage of it. He finds some little work site kind of trailer thing. He gets inside. Guess what? Negan's there. Presumably Negan has his baseball bat and maybe a pistol he's got tucked in his belt. And he goes to Gabriel, who has an assault rifle or a submachine gun, and says, you got your shitting pants on? Because you're about to shit your pants. In a just world, Gabriel would just hose him down.
Yeah. No,
he's like, yeah, it's going to suck getting out of here, but guess what? You're not going to be part of that voyage.
Yeah.
Does Gabriel just choke? Can he not kill a living being?
Maybe.
Is he going to be the new Morgan?
I guess I buy that, but what is he doing on site if that's the case?
Are we going to see Gabriel tortured by shitty pop music?
Yeah.
I don't.
He brought his iPod with him.
Yeah, I don't understand this. Again, Negan has no gun that I can tell, and Gabriel has a gun. And yeah, I get it. Like if Negan lunges at him, he's going to get to Gabriel, but Gabriel's also going to be putting several rounds right in his gut. It just seems like a weird one-sided standoff that I don't really care much about.
No, the whole thing is stupid. Like I said, they're trying to make Negan seem invincible, but they're doing it from positions of weakness always, and I don't understand it.
Yeah. So he gives his shit in pants joke out, and then we pan from above. We have a drone shot of it just steadily climbing to the sky, and it's very reminiscent of the season 1 Rick stuck inside the tank shot, which I think is intentional because this is all about mercy. And like Maggie mentioned about how, you know, Glenn was the one that started all this by sparing Rick last season. So I think we're supposed to get all these as an intentional callbacks to times that people tried to be merciful. Even the callback with Carl in the C-store.
Yeah.
You know, Rick tried to, like, he resisted killing that girl until the last minute.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, so I'm guessing that's their tribute for the 100th episode is like, hey, let's do something that is sort of reminiscent of episode 1.
Oh yeah, sure.
Which
I wasn't even thinking
that's fine.
Yeah, they're just tying it all into a 100 episode loop.
Right. Yeah. And then the other thing that I think was kind of cool that they did is the backpack, I think, is the orange backpack that they found on the side of the road where that traveler was killed.
Where they...
And Carl's, like, using that to deliver food to this traveler, which I thought was a nice echo of a past episode.
And especially if Michonne's premonition about him running the show comes true, that could signal a sea change in, like, the attitudes of our heroes.
And maybe Carl's meant to represent mercy and Rick is meant to represent wrath. I don't know.
All right. We then flash forward back to the future. They talk a mess about this big owl.
And Rick just blows its head off right in front of Judith. It was real gruesome.
Well, that's interesting because isn't that what his ex-girlfriend, Blonde Jessie, was...
Oh, she built that thing, yeah.
Yeah, like I wonder, is there like a festival to Jessie or something?
Sculpture, maybe.
How does Michonne feel about that? Judith has grown. It looks
Jessie
like she's...
Fest 2022 is rocking,
man. The one, Jessie's just, she was an amazing woman. Lucky to have Michonne, don't get me wrong.
Right.
Love Michonne, but boy, that Jessie, whoo, way she bit wire into an owl. I don't get it. Judith is grown. She's like 6, 7, so like I'm thinking 5 years into the future.
Mm-hmm.
Rick is led out by Judith to see this owl, and what he sees is this thriving agrarian society. It's very fucking Hobbiton. It's the Shire. Then it cuts to him with red-rimmed eyes. He's been crying, and also he's been standing over these 2 fresh graves in this middle flash thing that we're seeing.
Which I assume is probably Glenn and Abraham.
Well, they might be hinting that more people important are going to die.
Maybe, yeah.
Like, to me, I'm taking away there's going to be 2 main character deaths. Probably not Judith, Carl, or Michonne, since we see that in the flash forward. Although, if you say that's a fantasy, then all bets are off.
Mm-hmm. But I think it's a fantasy he's having over those graves. I think Red Eye Rick is the guy having that fantasy.
Yeah. Again, are we having a spoiler section?
It could be a...
Let's have a spoiler section.
Okay, we can. I had like one spoiler email that...
Well, there we go. We'll have a spoiler section.
That I didn't include, so... Our spoiler section will not include the spoiler email.
And he mutters, "My mercy prevails over my wrath." What does it mean? What does it mean?
Exactly that, I guess. I don't know.
And that's the episode. That's the episode, Jim.
Yeah? You think these windows... You think stage 2 of their plan is going to make any damn sense of what we just saw?
I think Rick really subscribes to Mayor Giuliani's broken window theory of like
He's
neighborhoods going to shit, and he's just like, I just fuck
jobs.
You, man. Your property values, your petty crime is going to go through the roof.
Or he's just trying to provide jobs.
Policing this shit. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah, he's the job maker, the great job maker of the apocalypse.
Like, what's the name for a window installer? A windowier? Windowier jobs are just gonna skyrocket. That's gonna be a boom industry in the sanctuary. It's going to really cut into Negan's like rape and pillage profits.
Yeah, for sure.
They'll be the foremost post-apocalyptic windowiers and strong window-based economy. Mm-hmm. Rick believes that supply side stuff, man. Going to break a window, so someone has to fix it.
Food for windows.
He's seen The Fifth Element. He's going with the Zorg. Push. Don't you remember the whole cherry scene with the stupid
the weird animal creature.
Yeah,
at his
it comes
desk.
out.
Yeah.
He ends up in the middle of making his point. He chokes on a cherry, that's exactly what Rick would do.
It is.
That's exactly. He's going to get into his long-winded broken window theory and start choking, and Carl's going to have to, whap him on the back till he chokes it up. Or that maybe that Islamic kid that he saves is going to be the one that has to pat it out of Rick's back. Anyway,
So
that's the episode.
the credits mention a couple people. One is John Bernecker, and the other is George Romero.
I've never heard it. Bernicker, I could talk all day. I could give his eulogy all day. This Romero guy, that's the one that played the Joker in the old Adam West Batman. Why am I joking
so.
about people's death? I'm a
No,
monster.
obviously everybody knows who George Romero is.
Yeah.
He's the godfather of zombies, essentially.
Yeah.
The John Bernecker name was confusing to me. I didn't know who that was. But turns out, I looked it up. He is a stuntman who died during the filming of The Walking Dead last year.
Right, we heard about that.
Yeah.
Like some kind of...
earlier this year, maybe?
Like a mistake with a fall rig or something?
Yeah, he fell like 22 feet and hit his head on something and
That'll
killed
do
him.
it.
Yeah. So they were honoring him. And I can see why they put him first.
That's
'cause
the other thing.
I was thinking like, oh, why are they doing Romero last? But
That
he's
was
closer to the production.
with our preview podcast, that was like one of the big kind of fallouts from all these lawsuits about money and AMC cutting corners is, a lot of people tried to make that connection to, like if they weren't so
okay.
big. Like I think that's a hard connection, one-to-one connection to make.
Yeah.
But
I think there are places where production will skimp and places where they won't. And I don't know that Nicotero and the effects company would have let them skimp on that stuff.
no, like I don't know. Like I said, I don't know anything about the story other than the facts of what happened. And it seemed like I know that that's like a pretty close knit community. Like the people, the crew, cast and crew, like kind of consider themselves family, non-ironically. So, that was probably really tough on all of them.
Yeah. Imagine. Devastating.
And I hope there is an investigation, and I hope that they learn something from it. And because that's the thing, it's such a fucking tragedy. Like there was a location scout that worked on Breaking Bad that got murdered down scouting in Colombia for season 3 of Narcos.
Wow.
And it just seems like anytime someone dies in the process of creating our entertainment, it's like literally the most senseless tragedy.
Sure.
Like this is supposed to this is popcorn and fun, and maybe you'll learn some things along the way, but it's just and people die to make it, and it's like, God, it makes it feel bad.
Yeah, for sure. Are we ready for feedback?
I am ready for feedback. Before we get to feedback, I want to tell you about the club, baldmove.com. Wait, the club.baldmove.com. I gotta get my shit straight. It's the primary way that we stay in business. If you didn't know, Jim and I do this as a full-time job. If you listen to the housekeeping section, you hear that we do just a stupendous amount of podcasts. We're probably going to do over 20 podcasts this week.
Why?
Before midnight on Sunday rolls around.
Who said that was okay?
No one. Like it's gotten out. It's the Sorcerer's fucking Apprentice, and the brooms with the buckets in this case is club.baldmove.com. You can go there and sign up for a low monthly fee, or you can save money by going quarterly, yearly. You know how this stuff works. Go to club.baldmove.com for the pitch. You get a brief kind of pitch of all the special features. I'll tease a few. Ad-free feeds. That's awesome. VIP access to the forums, extra bonus content, video versions of our podcasts, all kinds of stuff. The if you want to hear our full spoiler thoughts on the new Coen Brothers film Suburbicon coming out this Thursday, got to be a club member. Go to club.baldmove.com because most importantly, it keeps us doing shows like The Walking Dead and Mr. Robot and Game of Thrones and all the other stuff we do. Club.baldmove.com.
Okay, we start off with Alex G., who says, Ezekiel gave Carol a mighty big and, dare I say, flirtatious smile after the battle. The guy who plays him has even said that Ezekiel is interested in Carol. Do you think the show is setting up a romance between them? The next scene immediately cut to Daryl, so maybe they're just implying that those are the two people closest to Carol at this point. She has to choose between life at the Kingdom and life at Alexandria at some point. Which would you choose if you were her? So do you think they're trying to make Ezekiel and Carol a thing?
Yes, I don't know that.
I think Ezekiel is trying to make Ezekiel and Carol a thing.
That's the thing. I don't know if Carol's going to have it, but
Yeah.
they're definitely showing that he's way interested in Carol. And
For sure.
and also, if Carol's still holding a torch for Daryl, which I think she has stopped doing, I think she needs to move on because the lights are just not home on Daryl in that department.
Yeah. And maybe we should jump right to Christopher H's email when we're talking about Daryl and Carol. He says, last season, one of the major plot points was that Daryl lied to Carol about Glenn and Abraham's deaths. Then they were together this episode and it went completely unacknowledged. I would have expected a conversation between them with Carol saying something like, hey, I understand why you did what you did, or at least some reference to what happened last season. Is it satisfying if they never address this and we just move on, or do you think it would be a powerful character moment to see them discuss Daryl's lie this season?
I thought that the way we left that was that Carol knew that Daryl died, and she already understood the reasons. So, like,
to confront him about it seems almost pointless.
I mean, like, if anything, I guess Daryl coming up and saying, hey, like, it kind of sticks in my craw that I was trying to protect you. But yeah, if Carol brings it up, I think it would be a bit of a dick move.
Okay.
Like if the merciful thing to do is just to let your buddy move on if they fucked up but not really, and you understood the reasons and they were trying to protect you, like, do you want to discourage that behavior or encourage it? I don't know.
Right. Okay, Caroline Z says, did you notice that Eric got more screen time in the premiere than usual? I think they are making a point to highlight him before they kill him, which The Walking Dead has been known to do.
Well, he could be one of the fresh graves for sure.
He could be. She
they
goes
want to go
on...
extra tragic. It'd be Aaron and Eric together. They're like,
God. Yeah.
You know, like that would be... That's the thing.
The tragedy there being the pasta maker goes to waste.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I don't know about Eric, but I care about him in so much as that he's important to Aaron, and Aaron is a character that I am kind of attached to.
Yeah, I like Aaron, and I think the actor who... Russ Marquand or something like that. I think he's a really good actor.
Yeah,
he just hasn't always been given the best material.
He's like sometimes he's like a modestly well off, an upper middle class version of Topher Grace, right?
Yeah.
What I'm suggesting, he's a better version of Topher Grace. But for whatever reason, he wasn't in the '70s shows, so he's not as famous.
Not yet. So what would this do to Aaron? Aaron may feel responsible since he was the one who encouraged Eric to fight. Where would you like to see Aaron's arc go from here? And she also thinks Russ Marquand is a good actor who should be given more to do.
His arc should keep him far away from applesauce.
Okay, yeah. I
mean,
agree with that.
So I guess they could go either way. They could kill either one of them off, and then the other becomes a more central character who we are invested in because, they got this tragic backstory. And also, like, there's been a lot of rumblings of, like, is Daryl gay? Is Daryl asexual? I wonder, because he's had this kind of, like, brotherhood with Eric and Aaron. Like, they're the ones that kind of took him in and kind of showed him a purpose when he didn't feel like he had any. And it would be kind of interesting if one of them were to die, which then they could, get into a relationship. I don't know what the fan base would do. I think that would be kind of cool. Like, yeah,
I mean, if you're going to kill one of them, you got to kill Eric. Like, I think Aaron's the better character.
Well, that's only because he's
character.
A more developed character, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, those are some things that they could go. But I would like to see him get more screen time. Sure. Yeah, for sure. I could even see him. Well, they need to hook him up with Dwight because Dwight is the new Daryl. And I feel like if you're going to pair him up with somebody, you want to pair him up with somebody who's going to be around for a while. Oh, well, what if that's what if Daryl dies? What if Eric goes off with Dwight and Aaron goes off with Daryl and they both have separate relationships? I don't like that at all. Okay, so it involves like Aaron and Eric get to stay as a couple, which I like. So like Aaron and Eric survive. Daryl doesn't. Dwight, who's the turncloak, is now integrated into community, but yet he, much like Daryl, is kind of off to the sides, and he doesn't feel like he belongs, and he doesn't deserve this. And they, just like they took in the wounded Daryl, they do that with Dwight. And all the same tricks would work, right? Yeah, it's because spaghetti, the motorcycle, They just hit replay. Right. They just send him an invitation to spaghetti night on an arrow. They just shoot into his tire. It's the I don't know. Yeah, I like that. I like that idea too.
Okay.
Not that I like the idea of Daryl dying. I
No.
just like that would be a possible interesting way to go. Or, I mean, I really like that arc, and it doesn't require Daryl to die either.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I think Daryl and Dwight are kind of like permanently on the out. Yeah. What would Daryl think if Dwight moved into Alexandria? How do you forgive the guy that tortured you? Like, that's a big ask.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big ask. Like, you know, even if he's turned a new leaf and see, like, how could you ever forgive that? All right. Anyway, that's
see what Daryl's made of.
Yeah.
All right. John O says NPR wrote that as Michonne has become more emotionally open, she has been featured less on the show as a badass. Do you think that's true? He goes on, I don't. Michonne is often a voice of reason, and I think her character has benefited from the romantic arc, not been diminished. Do you think Michonne is a cooler character with or without Rick? And do you think Rick has become a cooler character because of Michonne? I certainly see her getting less, like, badass screen time.
I don't know that that's true because, like, you know, her and Rick took down that Carnival of Terror as a duo that was kind of neat and also also told something about the way they love each other.
But then she's left at home here because of this romance with Rick.
That's a problem.
I don't think of her as any less of a badass, but I do think the show is marginalizing that badassery a little bit.
Yeah, and I think Rick needs to start being called on this. That, like, look, you can't keep everyone you love in reserve.
Right.
Like you just can't. You can't.
No, he leaves his entire family at home and says, everybody else follow me.
Right. That won't work for long. And
No.
it's certainly a departure from comic book Rick, I think. So,
But the thing is, I do think Michonne has become a better character with the, you know, the opening up and the romantic involvement with Rick.
Yeah.
I think a lot of this stuff is starting to develop more. It's not developing as much as a badass, but we already know she's a badass.
Right.
Now we get to see another side of her, which is good for her character.
and that's the thing, like, these mysterious characters are intriguing because they're a mystery, and then when you peel those layers away and you fill in that backstory, they're no more mysterious, but they're better characters.
Yeah.
And unless you're just going to go like a fully, you know, procedural type of show, like a Star Trek or a CSI, you're never going to be able to keep a character shadowy and mysterious for long because, you know, like that, like how many seasons can she just be the loner that's emotionally damaged and can't trust anyone?
Yeah, would you still like Daryl if he was the way he was in season 2?
Yeah, or one, for
Or
Christ's
even
sake.
1? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also don't agree that she can't be a badass anymore. I feel
Right.
like that there'll be opportunities for her, aplenty for this season. And I'll be especially disappointed in the writers if they let that become the case.
Okay, Allison in Memphis says, how is this the best effects show on TV? But they
Oh, it's
can't.
not.
But they can't get Rick's hairpiece to look more realistic in Flash Forward.
Man, that beard was really if you're talking the
Yeah.
hairpiece, I'm talking the beard. That beard was reminiscent of the first time we saw Jesus. It's just so obviously a costume wig.
Yeah.
It
No,
draws
it's crazy to me the makeup work that they can do, and then the shoddy like prosthetics that they put on what are supposed to be normal people,
Well,
right?
it's
Like the
the
zombies
difference-
look fucking phenomenal.
Isn't like creature makeup actually part of the effects department where like hair and makeup, like I feel
Maybe they're different departments.
I feel
yeah.
hair, makeup, and costume has never been this show's strong suit.
Okay.
Because, you know, like the rare exceptions are when like people step literally off the comic book page, like when you get an Abraham and a Rosita and a Eugene, and they're like done up exactly in the eccentric way that they are in a comic book. But you know, anytime they give a chance to let people live kind of like, you know, believably grimy and lived in, it just never quite hit its mark, I don't think. But I don't know anything about this, and I'm probably talking shit about people that are very well respected, and maybe they have budget problems, and maybe they have time constraints, and
Yeah.
maybe they just don't give a shit, because why would they?
Yeah, could be. All right, and the final email this week is Barry C. from the UK. He says, meh episode. Quite a few people on Reddit and other forums think the flash forward was a dream for Rick, not the actual future. Some even think it's a hallucination before he dies. I think I can discount that theory quite simply by saying, why would there be a Kane in the dream sequence? nobody would really envisage an ideal future for themselves where they are less able than before. So I think we can confidently say this was a legit vision of the future to come. What do you think?
I think I'm closer to that than the fantasy, although
it is a little weird.
I don't know why they're shooting it this way. Although the one reason they're shooting it this way, so you can, because they have 4 separate timelines in this episode, it could possibly be that, like, hey, we need to do something different, or how the hell are people going to stay, any kind of grounded at all?
Yeah.
Like some shows, like Breaking Bad especially, does a shifted color palette. Whenever they're doing a flash forwards tend to be warmer, flash backs tend to be desaturated.
I think,
and then
so.
like on Better Call Saul, the flash forwards are all in black and white, so that's like an obvious tell. So I think they probably need it, but I don't know. I guess again, I felt like I don't know why they're teasing this part of the story. I really can't fathom. Okay, maybe you convince people it's a dream, maybe it's real. Why? What creative choice is being served by showing Rick as a slightly older man in a relaxed position? You're starting the season all-out war where anyone could die. Maybe everyone will die. And you're giving imagery to the audience to suggest that Rick and his family is going to be fine. Either that's a lie, and you're setting us up why, or it's the truth, and you're letting a massive amount of tension off.
Yeah, no, it's weird, and if any, even at its at the most credible, at the most leniency I can afford it, I would say it's a distraction from the main plot.
Yeah,
which is where you kind of want the audience's head to be at the moment. Let's get through all out war, then we can think about the future.
Yeah, no, it's a real head scratcher because I just don't get it. And I know there's sometimes like when I say things like that, you get feedback with like, well, do you really come on, who really thinks Rick is going to die? But that's not the point.
Yeah.
Because the way this visual storytelling works, like some of these tricks work regardless or not, because it works on our suspension of disbelief, and we get caught up in the moment of like, well, if we paused it right now and calm down for 10 minutes, we're like, okay, well, surely they can't kill Andrew Lincoln. But you still get stressed out. Like, you still get stressed out when, Walt and Jesse get in a season 2 jam, because that's good artistic storytelling. And anytime you reduce the pressure or screw up people's suspension of disbelief, it's bad storytelling. So I just feel like this is bad storytelling. And I think Nicotero, who directed this episode, has won, like, him and Gimple both really like they must be huge Tarantino fans. And that's how Tarantino tells his story. And then they're like, I think that's cool, and I want to do a story like that. But
yeah,
it comes off student filmy to me.
Okay, that's it. That's all the email we got.
All right. We are going to go consider a couple spoilers that I want to talk about. Then that's it. I guess I should give the outro. You can
we didn't do a live recording this week because I've been sick and I didn't feel like doing it. So we'll be back next week with the live recording for all the club members.
Those are going to be check the front page of Bald Move to see all the upcoming content, but tentatively those will be Tuesday at 1 p.m. You can send in feedback at Walking Dead or Watching Dead at baldmove.com. You can also get on our forums at forums.baldmove.com to discuss Walking Dead with your fellow fans. And follow us on all the social medias. Just search for Bald Move, and we'll probably be there. Or follow along with all we do at baldmove.com. All right, I'm ready to talk spoilers when you are, Jim.
Okay, for people who want spoilers, stick with us after the music. For people who don't, we'll see you next week. Until then, I'm Jim.
I'm Aaron. See ya.
And we're back with spoilers. You got something you want to talk about?
It's interesting because, like, all this stuff with people asking about Rick leaving Michonne back and, like, whether King Ezekiel will get with Carol, I feel like are symptoms of the Kirkman remixing which is going on. Because in the comic books, Michonne, at least for a time, shacks up with King Ezekiel.
Okay.
And Rick, until her death, shacks up with Andrea. Wait, does Andrea even die? I don't think she does. There's a couple of fake out scares. But also, like, you know, there's a thing where, like, Rick tries to, like, keep Andrea out of it, but she just won't have it. You know, she's the group's best shot and marksman. And, like, it's really strange to me to see this show letting Rick kind of get away with shielding all of his family from this risk.
Yeah.
Like, the other thing that where Michonne's relationship explored with Ezekiel is kind of like, you know, how kind of lonely and delusional he was, which I feel like they've already explored adequately on the show. So why, I mean, it feels like that they just did a bit of a remix where Carol's still alive, she wasn't. Andrea's dead, so we play this weird shuffling, you know, cakewalk game where Michonne goes to Rick, and then Carol goes to King Ezekiel, and now everybody's matchy, and this is how it's gonna work out.
Yeah, I mean that seems a reasonable thing to do with the pieces you have. I guess.
I want to talk a little bit more about how disappointing I think the flash forward to Old Man Rick is.
Okay.
I just, you know, I've tried to figure out the remixes this show does, and I kind of quit calling them Kirkman remixes because apparently he's no longer involved in the show. The day-to-day operation of the show, but like, I've always questioned the wisdom of switching things up just to keep the comic book fans engaged when they're such a small part of the show audience. You've got 10 million people watching, 100,000 people reading the books on a monthly basis. So let's say generously 10 times more have picked up the trade paperbacks and have read them online or whatever. You got a 10-to-1 audience ratio, and you're doing things to keep the comic book fans, you know, engaged or jazzed or whatever. Okay. Why in the fuck would you spoil the flash forward at the end of All Out War with this tease?
Yeah, I think that's the weird thing, knowing that there is, in fact, a flash forward in the comics 5 years into the future. I don't know, man. That it seems really bizarre.
Are they going to not do that to swerve? Because it seems like it's a way to like tell comic book fans, oh yeah, that thing you're really looking forward to is coming. It's coming, but also completely spoiling the surprise for the non-comic book fans. It's I really don't get it. I can't think of any.
Yeah, it's extra weird in that context where you know that there is in fact flash forward.
Right. And like they've got this thing where they introduce this kid and he's quoting the Quran, and like it seems to have a big impact on Rick, and they're also setting up like Rick being determined to kill Negan. That's what he wants to do. But at the end of the comic book, you know, Negan is spared because Rick is truly wanting to start this new society.
And I think that's where the line from Rick at the end about the wrath overcoming.
Right.
Wait, no, other way around. Mercy overcoming the wrath.
His wrath.
I think that's where that's coming from. He's trying to decide whether or not to kill Negan.
Yeah,
probably.
Like I think that's like, so it seems to me from that what we're looking at is a half season of All Out War, him maybe sparing Negan or deciding to spare Negan, and then the flash forward happens in this half season.
I mean, I would be cool with that.
I would be cool with that too, but I still don't know why they're teasing the flash forward.
Yeah, it's weird.
It is like, I mean, flash forwards within an episode are okay because it, like, you know, like if you know you got a slow start, it's screenwriting 101. Do a flash forward to show like, look at this crazy thing happening, and then, you know, 2 weeks later, it's definitely overused in pop culture right now. But whatever. I've never seen a flash forward that spoils the ending of a movie or a television or of like a season. There's one thing to like tease the end of, and that's the other thing. Like teasing, they never tease the end of the episode. They never flash forward to like the gang with their arms around each other, laughing by a campfire. You know, it's always like in media res, like, oh my God, here's Shane and Rick fighting off a waterfall full of zombies. How the fuck did they get here, and how are they going to get out? This is like, Old Man Rick has achieved nirvana in Alexandria, which is what actually happens until the next, you know, there's obviously another crisis going. I don't understand why they swerved and put Eugene working for the Saviors instead of doing the bullet. Because here's the thing, like this whole bullet fact, them hosing down the Saviors complex makes sense as a intimidation tactic because largely the world had run out of bullets. And here's Rick hosing down this building in the comic books. Holy fuck, he's got a way to make bullets.
Right. No, it would have made much more sense to have Eugene there supplying the bullets. Like,
And the
show a montage where everybody in town is making bullets and Eugene is walking through saying, oh no, a little more steel in that mix or whatever, you know?
Maybe it's because, like, you know, the challenge with shows, which you don't have in books and comic books, is actors get all fucking antsy if they don't have some featured plots.
Yeah.
Like, the reason, you know, Denise Crosby left Star Trek after first season of playing Lieutenant Yar is because, like, I was promised I would get something that I could sink my teeth into. And the fucking Jungle Book planet where I had to fight this dude's 5 wives in some kind of death maze doesn't cut it for me, guys.
No?
So maybe Eugene is like, you know, what's his name, Josh? McDermott,
I think.
Yeah, it's Josh Daniel Dermott. He might have been like, I want some more Eugene focused. And they're like, well, you know, 2 seasons from now you'll make bullets and it'll be awesome. Fuck that, man. I want to get captured by the saviors. I don't get it. It seems like they're all objectively worse, especially when they're using things like an abundance of bullets that they haven't established. Well, they established it, but then they didn't do anything with it.
Yeah,
it's a fucking mess, man.
It is. This whole show's a mess.
But that's the thing. That's the reason people are like, well, then why'd you say it's pretty good? Because, like, I guess this season I'm finally adjusting for, yes, this shit will always happen. They'll do these weird time jumps. They'll do, but, like, you know, on a sliding scale, this was pretty entertaining. It had some good action beats and it had some good zombie stuff. And I thought the speechifying by, like, Rick and I were, like, a cut above the usual. So...
Okay.
That's all. That's all the spoiler stuff I want to talk about.
Cool. I think that's it for us this week then.
The other thing is, like, if you are a little bit more